A warm welcome to all students. Myself Diksha Bhatt, teacher trainee from Nirmala Institute of Education. Let's start with your science class. Do you know how your mother makes tea? Using tea powder and sugar, right? Have you ever observed what she does after that? She separates tea powder from liquid using a strainer. Now all of you all have ate poha. What do you do if you find chilies in it? You carefully take them out, right? You take each and every chili out of the poha. Now suppose you are given a basket of fruits and you are asked to separate them. What would you do? You would pick one of the kind and place them in a separate container. But why do we separate the substances? What is the need? So today we will learn more about this in our topic, separation of substances. Starting with, we will look at why do we need to separate the substances. Here I have a table of separation processes, purpose for which we do the separation, and what do we do with the separated components. Our first separation process is separating stones from rice. Why do we do that? What is the purpose of separating stones from rice? We do that to remove stones from rice so that we get a good quality of a rice to eat. And what do we do with the separated components? We throw away the stones. Our second process is separating tea from tea leaves. Why do we do that? Why do we separate tea from tea leaves? In order to remove impurities or harmful components, we separate tea from tea leaves. And what do we do with the separated components? We use both of these components, that is tea and tea leaves. Now let us discuss some simple methods of separation of substances. Methods of separation. Our first method is hand picking. If we spread a grain from a packet of food grains on plate, we will find that there are many pieces of stone, husk and broken grains. So we remove this with our hands. This method of hand picking can be used for slightly larger impurities, like piece of dirt, stones and husk from wheat, rice or pulses. In such situations, we find that hand picking is the convenient method of separating substances. The next method is threshing. This method is used to separate grains from stalk. Grain seeds are very small in size, so removing them with hands is very difficult. For this, we use the method of threshing. Here, the stalks are beaten to free them from grain seeds. Sometimes, threshing is done with hands. Sometimes it is done with the help of bullocks. Machines are also used to thresh the large quantities of grains. The next method is winnowing. This method of separation is used to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind or by blowing. This method is commonly used by farmers to separate lighter husk particles from the heavier seed of grains. The husk particles are carried away by the wind and the seeds of grains get separated. The separated husk is used for many purposes, such as fodder for cattle. Our next method is sieving. Sometimes while preparing a dish with the flour, we need to remove the impurities from it. Sieving allows the fine flour particles to pass through the holes of a sieve while the bigger impurities remain on the sieve. So the process which allows the fine flour particles to pass through the holes of a sieve while the bigger impurities remain on the sieve is called sieving. You may have also noticed sieve being used at construction sites to separate pebbles and stones from sand. I hope, dear students, you have got a clear idea of the topics which I have covered today. This brings us to the end of the first part of this chapter. If you have any difficulties, then you may contact me. Thank you.